Oh, and down he goes! Right hand, left hand, and I don't think he's going to get up. I think it's all over. I think it's over. Is he going to get up? Can he get up? Can he get up? He does. Oh my goodness! Somehow Fury has managed to get up.
If you haven't already, please also subscribe to us on Apple, Spreaker and Spotify. Just type in Brawl Boxing and you'll find us there. Thank you.
Thanks to Wow Hydrate, who've sponsored the podcast. They've provided me and the lads with some of their protein and vitamin waters, along with electrolyte drinks, which are the best on the market. Thanks for your continued support. We really appreciate it.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Brawl Boxing Podcast. I'm Kieran McCourt, and I'm joined by co-hosts Colin McGuigan and Ram McLaughlin.
Thanks for that, McCourt. Well, folks, joining us this week ahead of his huge fight with Chris Eubank Jr. is Welsh middleweight Liam Williams. Liam, how you doing, mate?
I'm very good, thanks, mate. A little bit tired. Training's going really well, though. Just counting down the time now until the fight.
Were you training? Were you training tonight?
Yes, mate. I done a spar this morning. I actually done 12-round spar this morning, so been a bit.
I seen you treated yourself with a wee cheeky wagamamas on your Instagram there.
Fucking bad. Yeah, well, I actually went for a haircut and I was walking past thinking like I'm tired, starving. I couldn't bring myself to walk past without having one.
them Box Hill runs with Mick Conlon and all, they must flip and wreck you, do they?
Do you know what, mate? I haven't actually done Box Hill because I always go home. I always go home on a Friday afternoon.
Right.
So I'd always do a nice long run back home in the valleys, and it's probably just as tough though, no doubt. There's a lot of hills there.
Probably a bit more scenic as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Living in Wales, like how did you get into boxing? Was it the Swansea Cardiff derby and you were in before the fight, just smashing people?
Do you know what? I was 9 years old, and me and my mates were just like out, don't know, doing what 9-year-olds do. I don't know, just fucking around, I guess, in the street. And he was pissing on my ring, so we just said, "There's a boxing gym up there. Let's go and have a little browse. Like it's an hour or two out of the rain. Probably a little bit warmer as well." So we went there. I just stuck out there. All my mates dropped off day by day, week by week, and then there I am, still there, because I'm a bit of potential,
Tell me this. So what year would you be talking here that you started?
So maybe like 2001.
Like obviously Kozaki played, because obviously Wales is known for like its rugby, big into rugby and stuff, and football obviously, but did Kozaki sort of change the landscape, especially for like growing up sort of our age? Did he change how people sort of thought about boxing in Wales? Because I imagine before him there wasn't many.
I think he must have, yeah, I guess so. If I'm being honest with you, when I was 9 years old, I didn't have a clue who Kozaki was. I didn't know any boxers. I was never interested. I never planned to box. As I said, I just went there that one day, and it just worked out that I was quite good. So I stuck out there, and I didn't think that I was ever going to be a professional. I just didn't really think too far ahead then. Just just went with it. Then I had the opportunity to turn pro. And then I was thinking I'll probably win a couple of fights. I probably won't be British champion and whatnot. And then I have a British title fight, win that, and it just snowballed. I never really set myself a long-term goal. Just kind of went with the flow, and obviously now here we are at a very good level.
Yeah, I just remembered there as you were talking. We interviewed, speaking of Welsh boxing, we interviewed Big Enzo a few months ago, and he was telling a story about nearly getting kidnapped in Russia. And he said you were standing with a bottle ready to take on the Russian Mafia. Can you confirm or deny this?
I can confirm it, yeah. I was kind of backed up. These big old guys come in, shouting the odds and roughing people about. So So there was a box of glass water bottles behind me. So I just backed myself to the wall, and I just grabbed 2 glass water bottles. I thought any of these big bastards come near me, they're getting it.
What age were you then?
What's that?
What age were you?
23 maybe.
You don't want to be getting involved in that, boys. Like when Enzo was describing it, like he genuinely sounded more terrified at that moment than like before any of his fights. Do you know what I mean?
To be honest with you, mate, I'm obviously like kind of, you know, a bit of a laughing joke or whatever, but it was a very scary moment, and I thought, you know, this could all end here. And that's why I grabbed the bottles, because I thought, well, what's the worst that can happen? I'm going to get fucked up by these guys anyway. I may as well get a good one in first and maybe like kill one of them or something. I don't
know. That'll be the snippet. Just them words.
That is the snippet. That word, and we'll just tag Chris Eubank. Liam, you've been in there with some of the top guys in the world, the likes of Liam Smith, Demetrius Andrade. You're still only 29, which is crazy because it feels like you've been about for a long, long time. Do you feel like you've got more experience than some of these guys in your weight, especially the British guys?
Yeah, 100%. I've been a pro for like, what was I? Been a pro for 10 years. So I have pretty much been around forever. You know, considering my age, I've been around a long time. Obviously, turned pro young, so I've gained a lot of experience. You know, I've had my ups and my downs, and you know, I think although I'm coming off a loss in my last fight, I'm riding high. You know, I'm on a good roll. You know, I only just lost on points to probably the best middleweight in the world. So
what was it like being in there with him? Because I actually seen him up close when I was at the Teofimo Lopez and Cambosa's fight, and he was nearby, and he's an absolute, like, I didn't think he was that big. Didn't think he was that big either that way. He's a monster, like.
Yeah, he's quite big for the weight. To be honest, I didn't feel, I don't know what it seemed like on TV, and I haven't really watched it back much, but I don't know if he seemed that much bigger than me. What do you think?
No, I think he did. He looked personally, like, this is my own opinion. Maybe everyone's different, but I think he looked a lot bigger than you, even for that weight. Like, I was trying to work out how he even makes that weight.
Yeah, well, do you know what though? The way I look at it, right, I see a lot of fighters, and Eubank is actually the same. He's got very broad shoulders. He's got wide shoulders, and you know, he's got a good shape. If you look at him side on, yeah, he's actually quite narrow, and his body's not that thick. Whereas if you look at me, like, I'm quite chunky side on as well. So it depends how you really have to look at all different angles, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah, he was quite big. He was, again, like, quite broad in the shoulders and that. Very long arms. Just rangy overall.
Do you think he could beat Canelo?
I don't know. It's a very difficult one. Maybe not Canelo. I don't know. Maybe not Canelo, but you beat everybody else.
Yeah. Who would you have top of your, like, top 3 pound for pound?
Well, Canelo included, because he's a super middle now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Canelo's every weight, I suppose, isn't he? But
so, I think Canelo, Andrade, and probably Charlo at the moment.
Charlo, yeah.
Because you got Golovkin, which is unbelievable fighter, but I do think he's on a slide now.
Looking forward, obviously you've got the elephant in the room here, the Eubank fight coming up. It's going to be strange for you, like, having probably the whole of the UK is going to be on your side against Eubank, wanting you to beat him. But how did that fight actually come about originally?
Yeah, well, going back to what you said previously there, let's be honest, it's pretty hard to actually be on Eubank's side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see him get fucked up. Do you know what I mean? So what was the question again?
No, so, like, how did that fight come about? Are you going to be looking forward to the press conference?
All right.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah. That's how they come about. So the fight's like, I've been chasing the fight for a couple of years. I've always mentioned his name like for a couple of years now. I've always thought it'd be a great fight, you know, and obviously I don't like him either. So I always knew he was going to be kind of one of them grudge matches. So yeah, I've been calling for the fight for a while, and it got to the point where the public got behind it, and everybody's just screaming out for it. You know, everybody loves the idea of the fight. And I think Eubank pretty much got backed into a corner and pretty much had to take this fight.
Yeah, what like a lot of boxers, you hear a lot of boxers say about these grudge matches, they'll sort of say, no, it's not personal, it's only business and it's never personal. But like, you can tell it sometimes is personal, and you get that. I sort of feel that when I watch you and Eubank, and even sort of obviously Saunders and Eubank, Spike and Eubank, a lot of opponents with Eubank, it does feel personal. Why do you think that is? Like, what is it about him?
I don't know, he's just not a very likable character. It's just, I don't know, I think he's different to most people. He's, you know, privately schooled, and obviously you got his own man being his own man in the way he is. He's a clown as well. I actually like his own man as a fighter. You know, I think he's very good, but it's just the way he carries himself, and I don't think he's the most easy guy to take to. But yeah, this fight is definitely one of them fights where I haven't really got anything in particular to say is personal over, but it's personal for me because I just don't like him, and I want to bust him up.
There's an interesting dynamic to this. People might not actually know this who are listening, but you left the Angle gym, you joined obviously Booth's gym, and Chris Eubank's cousin Harlem trains there. Is there a bit of a, was that even in your thinking at the time? Did you know about it, or?
No, to be honest with you, I thought of Adam before I thought of the Harlem situation and whatnot. It doesn't really matter because when I'm in the gym and I'm sparring and stuff, Harlem isn't there anyway. He gives us different training, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I've said this a few times. I actually like Harlem. He's a really nice lad. He's I think he's very different to them.
Yeah.
I agree.
He's very likable, and I get on with him.
Yeah, I think. Well, even Chris was not with Booth for a very short time, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, Chris. I think he was trained by Adam for 2 fights.
For 2 fights, yeah. So you've got
An
the
interesting
inside scoop.
Yeah, there's obviously a little bit of inside knowledge there, but you know, it's all there to see anyway, really, isn't it? You know, I've watched him enough to know what he's about.
Have you ever sparred with Saunders?
I have, yeah.
And how good was he? Like, what's he like to be in the ring with?
Do you know, actually, Saunders is kind of he's another Andrade. He's obviously southpaw, slippery, very hard to pin down, and he's got fast hands as well. But I've had a couple of good spars with Billy Joe, and but he's definitely up there on the list. He's very good.
If you're sparring domestic, especially I suppose anyone, but domestically, say you were to spar Saunders or Spike or anyone else around them sort of weights, what's it like for a boxer? Are you sort of thinking, I'm going to put it on them here, or are you sort of hiding keeping your cards close to the chest? Are you thinking, I might fight these one day, you know, I don't want to give away too much, or maybe I want to scare them? Or
it's difficult, really. I suppose you have to judge the situation. You know, if that person is on your radar. To be honest, if that person was ever on my radar, I just wouldn't spar him anyway. But obviously, it's good to spar the likes of Billy Joe and other good people in and around the same weight, because you can always gauge then how I know it's a spar is a spar. If, you know, fighting is different. You got the little gloves on, no head guards, the pressure's on. I just think it's good to gauge how how you deal with them, and you know, oh, they have beat so and so, he's beat so and so. I had the better of him. He had the, you know, you can kind of get a feel for where you were at then as well.
Liam, I was going to say there, you know, you've obviously left the Angle gym. Do you feel like Adam has added something different to your game? Are we going to see like a new Liam Williams, or are you going to adapt the same approach as maybe you did in the Andrade fight or the Liam Smith fight?
No, for sure, mate. Adam has definitely added. I would say Adam's giving me another 20%. I'm feeling like everything we're doing is working perfectly. We're constantly drilling certain things. I think Adam is a master. He's very, very good at what he does.
His sessions look absolutely horrifically hard as well. Anyone we spoke to, they're like, I thought I trained hard, and then I went and done a session with Booth, and it was just like different gravy.
Yeah, well, if I'm being honest with you, mate, I thought I was killing it in the Ingle gym, and some sessions we do there like are very tough. Certain runs and circuits and whatnot. It's very good that he doesn't do too much of one thing. He's always like he's constantly turning it around and giving us different sprint sessions, long runs. You know, you might do. He just mixes it up. You get a bit of everything that you need. You know.
What's it like having Mick around the gym? Did you know Mick before this, or is this your first time really getting to know Mick?
I've known Mick for years, not known him personally. Yeah. Obviously, we've known of each other. We spoke little bits and bobs, maybe on like Twitter or whatnot. And I've always been a fan of Mick. I like him. He's obviously very, very good, and you have to respect him as a fighter. I didn't know him on that personal level, but me and Mick, we've, you know, since I've been here, we get on really, really well, and I think we both each other's type of, you know, the idea of each other's friends. You know, we get on very well, and he's the type of guy that I'd be good friends with outside of boxing.
What's your opinion on mixed teeth?
You'll hear that.
Well, like his gums he loves, he must be massive, is it?
Mick's gonna be around at your door, Rand.
I haven't taken much notice, but do you know the thing is, yeah, I'm not gonna go too deep on him, because when I turn up in the gym in the morning, he's gonna be there waiting for me, and he's gonna give it right back and probably ruin my morning. So I'll leave you to that.
He calls me baldy enough, so I'm allowed these subtle digs in.
Mick, yeah?
Yeah.
So he's boxing, he's doing his combinations and whatnot, yeah. So he throws a big left hook, for example, whack, bomb, dips out. I like the way his hair bounces.
Yeah, that wee bounce was her. I've noticed that as well, actually.
I said the other day, that's my favorite thing about you. Like, I love it.
Favorite thing about him.
The thing is, if I said that to him, he'd just be like, yeah, at least I have her, so I sort of can't really say much. So
take the cap off, Rand. Take the cap off. Come on. It's not too bad. It's, to be fair, Liam, it's been this way since he was about 16. So
I've just got a massive forehead, Liam.
It's a bit fair, like.
Yeah, it is. See, that side angle fucks it there.
Good just to pull that off.
Liam, you seem like a guy who gets a knock back in size every Friday. Will you be getting another haircut before the fight as well?
Don't fuck about me, that one every week.
What a guy. Liam, so you boxed behind closed doors last year, which obviously must have been a bit of a weird feeling because you weren't used to it. But this time you're going to be in Cardiff in front of a sold out audience. Hopefully most of the Welsh fans are all out and there's not very many Eubanks there. But what sort of atmosphere do you expect on the night? And do you think it'll make a difference?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere in Cardiff. It's going to be crazy, mate, because the Welsh fans are always very loud and supportive. And I think, although he's used to the pressure, Eubank, I honestly think he's going to have a shock coming into that arena in Cardiff, because the fucking roof is going to be blown off, mate. It's going to go crazy in there.
There'll be a few microwave launched in the ring.
100%.
He's bringing the microwaves. Look at him.
Liam,
But they want him signed, they'll just want him to hurt them.
Won't be any glass bottles behind your back. It'll be a microwave just ready to launch across it.
what's the plans for after the fight? Will you be going on a mad one then in Cardiff?
100%. No, I don't know. It depends, mate. I never plan anything the night after the fight, because you don't know how the fight's gonna go. You don't know if you could end up in hospital. You could have broken hands. You could be, it's a very tiring night, isn't it? So, to be honest, I just usually plan to go back, have a chill, have a shitload of bad food, and just lay on the bed for a couple of hours eating pizzas and burgers and chocolate.
Yeah, that's my normal diet. Like, that's just is that bad for you?
That's all right. Keep doing it.
And how long then do you sort of? I suppose you probably don't even want to think about this now because you're in the midst of the camp. But how long do you give yourself after each camp, or after each fight? Sorry, until you to enjoy yourself.
It depends really when I'm likely to fight next or not. So yeah, usually like I give myself probably 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you knew me, you'd like that 3 weeks I will have is probably somebody else's for 3 months.
Yeah, you'll be looking like Ricky Hatton in between fights.
Well, I'm not as bad as I used to be. I used to put on quite a bit of weight, and I used to get all tubby and that. But I look after myself a lot better these days. Don't get me wrong, I'll have a good blowout. I'll have a couple of nights out. I'll probably go on holiday. So I'll just give myself a couple of weeks, and I'll be back. I'll probably give myself 2 weeks with zero training. I'll take it back over again and looking to see what's next.
Yeah, because I always think it's mental when boxers, like if I was a boxer, I would either, coming up to Christmas, I would try to get a fight booked in right before Christmas, or else in like March. You get some boxers who have a fight like the 2nd of January or something, and you're like, that sounds horrific. Like,
it's a bit of a ball ache, to be honest, because I was supposed to fight on December the 11th originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So it was bang on for me. It's perfect because I could have had a bit of time off building up to Christmas and over Christmas. But then obviously I was planning to go away over New Year as well on holidays, and we had to put a stop to that. So that was a bit of a kick in the balls. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm going to have many more Christmas than I saw. My career comes first.
It'll all be worth it, 100%.
Finally, Liam, obviously we all know that Eubanks have a good chin, and you're known as a knockout artist. Are we expecting a KO then when you fight him? Well,
I'm not relying on it. I'd like it to, a fight of this level and the tension and everything in it. It deserves to end with somebody sleeping, doesn't it? I think the fans want that. I certainly want that, but I want it to be him sleeping on me, obviously. Yeah, I think it's got potential. I could knock him out. As if you hit anybody clean in them little 10-ounce gloves, then majority of 8 times out of 10 is going to be good night. But I'm preparing myself for a hard 12-round battle. So whatever happens. If the knockout comes, then I'm onto a winner. If not, I can go and win on points.
Happy days. Well, Liam, we were all already excited for the fight. We were talking about it a few weeks ago, actually. But I'm even more excited now. Thank you so much for coming on, mate. We'll be
really appreciate it.
February 5th.
Thank you very much for having me on, boys. I appreciate it.
I'll be instructing Enzo to be showing up at Cardiff with 2 glass bottles as well, just in case.
Yes, definitely.
I'm sure Enzo will be there. I think I've got Joe coming down as well. He's going to come down and see.
Are they? Will they all have glass bottles? 100%.
Probably, yeah.
He looks so serious when he says it.
Nah, it's good, mate. I'm really excited, and again, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Gentlemen,
really appreciate it, mate. Thanks a million.
Thank you, man.
My dad likes to call that life. but I'd like to call that white girl problem. Met her back in autumn. Every gift I try to get her, she already got them. Messing with the TA, wonder what she taught him. Work her way down, literally to the bottom. Where are all my best friends? How can I ignore them? Never gonna text them, I am too important. Look at what my dad bought, yeah, it was imported. He took a second loan, cause our family can't afford it. Nice guy.